All right, welcome back to part 3 of our Desmos tutorial here online. The third video will deal with what is called cubic functions because it is x to the third. So we're going to start off with y equals x to the third, and we're going to do a little bit of a recap here with Desmos so you can turn it on and off. You can hit the gear to change your colors. Okay, we're going to use black this time, and you could change the style of your line. Okay, and of course we can restrict our domain by just entering the values that we want to chop our graph at. So if you want to go from 0 to 1, we would just go 0 less than x is less than 1, and we only get this portion here. Okay, and we can also do as far as decimals too. So we can go to 0.25, and as you see, we have just a tiny little portion right there. Okay, because sometimes in our project we just need a tiny little portion. So it's important to know that you can do it exactly to whatever you need, okay? So let's start off here. Again, as with our parabolas from the last video, we can shift our graph up and down by adding numbers there like that. Okay, as you can see, this point, like this little portion, this really curvy spot is the part that is being moved, okay? So we can move it up or down. We can make it at like -3 right here, okay? And we can move our graph to the left and right by adding and subtracting numbers inside of our parentheses, all right? So subtracting makes it go to the right, so there we go. And if you want to move it to where that middle is at -5, well, we would want to add 5, okay? So there we have it. Again, shifting to the left and to the right, and also shifting it up or down, okay? Now we can still make our graph be wider and narrower. Let's start again with our cubic function x to the third power, okay? And if you're wondering how I input that exponent, I use the little caret button, which is like the shift 6 key on your keyboard. That up caret gives me the exponent, okay? What I can also do is show the keypad here, and I can input my exponents using these buttons or with all of these buttons over here. Okay, so we have lots and lots of options. Okay, so again, we can, just like with our parabolas, we can make this wider or narrower by changing our coefficient. Okay, as you can see, if we use larger numbers, our graph here, our line, gets kind of skinnier. Okay, so as we use larger and larger numbers, our graph gets skinnier and skinnier. Again, we can use smaller numbers like 0.1, and our graph gets a little bit fatter, like wider. It's kind of stretched out to the left and to the right. So we can make, very, very, very wide and less curvy graphs by doing that, okay? So again, this is fully customizable. And of course, if you would like it to flip the other way, you could reflect it by using our negative keys here. So we can go negative and skinny, like so, negative and fat, like so. Okay. All right, and of course, if we want to shift it up, we add numbers there, like so. Shift it down, like so. Okay, so full control. And again, throwing parentheses here and subtracting numbers, like so. Makes it move to the left, or adding numbers makes it move over here to the left. Okay, so again, adding moves it to the left, subtracting moves it to the right. All right, and of course we can turn it on and off. We can again shift it up, and we can also, well, you guessed it, restrict our domain and range. So if we want it to be from here, -1 to 6, well, -1 less than x less than 6. Boom, so we have that portion there, all right? And we can even alter it after it's been domain restricted. We can still change the curvature like that, okay? So as you can see, all those things still happen, okay? Interesting, huh? So again, please pause and rewatch portions of this video if you have any questions regarding f of x or y equals x to the third power, which is called the cubic function. Okay, and we'll see you next time.